spring sports squad so far. The boys volleyball team is off to an unblemished 2-0 start after wins over Allen and Deerfield. A great start to be sure, but head coach John Yannick believes his team still has a lot of work to do, in part because of how young they are. Courtney DuPont has more.
In 2019, John Yannick was Lehigh Valley Live's Boys Volleyball Coach of the Year. He led the Patriots that season to 19 wins, and they even made an appearance in the EPC Championship. Sadly, every single player on that 2019 roster was lost to graduation last spring. And this year, the Patriots are led by 3 juniors, one of which has never played competitive volleyball before.
You can't teach athleticism. And that's what Austin has, a lot of athleticism, a lot of drive, a lot of heart. And he just started picking the game up last year. We had 3 weeks where we played. We're like, this guy is going to be something. And this year he came even on stronger because he's an athlete and he can pick up things much quicker.
It was interesting. It comes to me because I'm tall. I feel like some of our strengths are hitting. We got to work on passing a little. Just like knowing where to go with coach. He helps us like where we go. Talks to us, make sure we know what to do in certain situations, cover, stay tight on the net, block.
And while Austin continues to learn the basics, his young teammates have been getting reacquainted. Nearly every varsity volleyball player for Freedom plays for the Velocity Boys Volleyball Club team, where Coach Yannick is the club director. And to make things even more interesting, Freedom is taking on Northampton next Tuesday, a team whose roster also features a number of Velocity Club members.
I actually know them a lot of them personally. I know they're going to be really good, but they're definitely a team we can beat if we get in their heads. It's just like our motivation coming into the game, like coming off of 2 wins, it's going to give us like a really strong mentality.
Yeah, they know each other in the off season in club, and then they split the court and play for opposite high schools. The 3 of their coaches, Doug Fainall, Sue Arndt, and Mike Hollahan, are all coaches in our club. It's going to be an interesting head game, so to speak, because they know what I do and I know what they do, and their boys are big hitters.
There's no denying it, Northampton is more experienced than Freedom this year, seeing as the Patriots do not have a single senior on varsity, while the Concrete Kids have 2 seniors and 6 juniors. Still, the young Freedom squad refuses to be discouraged.
We had several chances of just kind of packing it in against Deerfield, but no matter how much the boys were down or how much they were up, they still continued to play. They listened to us, and Allen the same thing. We had to stay strong. We won in 4 in that one, but we did more things right, obviously, in both matches than we did need to improve on.
Reporting from Freedom High School for the Service Electric Network, I'm Courtney DuPont.
Thanks a lot, Courtney. As we mentioned earlier, Freedom is 2-0 on the season. Northampton, meanwhile, opened its campaign with a 3-0 win over Bethlehem Catholic. K-Kids had Tuesday's match with Liberty postponed, as well as today's scheduled tilt against William Allen. So the next time these 2 teams hit the floor, it will be against one another this coming Tuesday. That's the start of a very busy week for the Freedom boys volleyball team. We talked about that Tuesday tilt at home against Northampton, then a big challenge for the Pates as they go to Parkland next Thursday. The Trojans are already 2-0 on the season. They've got an out-of-league game against the Southern Lehigh Spartans today. And then the busy week for the Patriots wraps up on Saturday, a home showdown against the Easton Red Rovers. Easton's still looking for its first win of the young season. The Rovers are currently 0-1 and facing Bethlehem Catholic today. That busy stretch, really just the appetizer before some really big games later on in the season for Freedom boys volleyball. A home showdown against Nazareth coming up in mid-April. That's on the 16th. Then a home showdown on Monday, April the 19th against perennial power Emmaus. That before, just 48 hours later, a tough trip to Whitehall to battle the Zephyrs. So it's going to be, at least we project it to be, a very competitive field in EPC boys volleyball this coming spring season. Will be interesting to see how the Freedom Patriots stack up among some of the EPC boys volleyball best. We'll continue this evening.